Palace Walk, published in 1956, is a novel by the renowned Egyptian author Naguib Mahfouz. Set in Cairo during World War I and the years immediately following, the story explores Egypt's shifting political landscape as it moves from British occupation toward rising nationalism. This transformation is vividly portrayed through the everyday experiences of the Muslim al-Jawad family. This summary is based on the 1994 Black Swan edition of the novel, translated by William Maynard Hutchins and Olive E. Kenny. At the center of the al-Jawad household is al-Sayyid Ahmad Abd al-Jawad, a strict patriarch who demands absolute obedience and respect from his family, viewing himself as beyond reproach. His wife, Amina, embodies the ideal obedient Muslim wife, rarely leaving the home due to a strict rule imposed by her husband. Their children include 3 sons, Yasin, Fahmy, and Kamal, and 2 daughters, Khadija and Aisha. Though al-Sayyid Ahmad publicly presents himself as a devout Muslim, he secretly indulges in forbidden pleasures such as drinking, music, and affairs with various women and courtesans. He often stays out late drinking and dancing, and his family is expected not to question his behavior. Amina, fully aware of her husband's double life, chooses to pretend ignorance. Yasin, al-Sayyid Ahmad's eldest son from a previous marriage, shares many of his father's habits, including visiting courtesans, drinking, and enjoying music. Fahmy, the eldest son born to Amina, is more studious and devout, completely unaware of his father's nocturnal escapades. The youngest son, Kamal, is close to his mother and sisters. Among the daughters, Khadija is outspoken and often jealous of her younger sister Aisha, who is regarded as more beautiful and marriageable. Aisha tends to act as the family's peacemaker, showing a gentler temperament compared to Khadija. Every morning, the women prepare breakfast for the men, who eat quickly before heading out for the day. Once the men leave, the women have their own breakfast and begin the household chores. As the story progresses, Yasin discovers a surprising similarity between himself and his father. He begins visiting a courtesan who lives in the same household as al-Sayyid Ahmad's own courtesan. From a separate room, Yasin witnesses his father dancing and playing the tambourine, sharing a secret joy in these forbidden pleasures. Yasin feels a sense of pride in this connection despite the taboo nature of their activities. When al-Sayyid Ahmad departs on a business trip to Port Said, Amina seizes the chance to visit a mosque, a decision her children support, marking a quiet but significant moment of independence for her. Al-Sayyid Ahmad often boasts that no one outside the family has seen his daughters since they were little girls, as they are strictly forbidden from leaving the house, Amina included. However, during a return trip from the mosque, Amina succumbs to the oppressive heat and faints in the street. She is struck by a car, fracturing her collarbone. The children quickly summon a doctor to tend to her injury. When al-Sayyid Ahmad learns of the accident, he is furious. After Amina's collarbone has healed, he forces her to leave the home and live with her mother instead. A significant portion of the novel focuses on the marriages of Khadija and Aisha. Aisha is the first to wed, which fuels Khadija's jealousy and anxiety. Yet, once Aisha is married and no longer at home, Khadija finds a sense of relief and eventually marries the brother of Aisha's husband. Both sisters ultimately find greater happiness in their new households, which are far less strict than the one under their father's control. As preparations for Aisha's engagement and wedding move forward, al-Sayyid Ahmad decides to bring Amina back home, knowing she would want to be present for her daughter's wedding. The ceremony itself is marked by tension. Jalila, a singer hired to entertain guests and a former lover of al-Sayyid Ahmad, confronts him about his ongoing affair with a younger courtesan. Meanwhile, Yasin seizes the moment to reveal their father's indiscretions to Fahmy. Unlike Yasin, Fahmy is disturbed by the revelations, causing him to question both his father's authority and his own beliefs. Later, Yasin becomes drunk and attempts to assault the family servant. Her screams alert al-Sayyid Ahmad, who is enraged but resolves to force Yasin into marriage in hopes of redirecting his son's reckless behavior. With the war's end, British soldiers arrive and establish a camp across from the al-Jawad home. This stirs anger in Fahmy, who has become fervently devoted to the nationalist cause. In contrast, Kamal befriends the soldiers, which alarms and unsettles the family. Fahmy advocates for a more militant approach to nationalism, but the rest of the family fears the volatile political climate. Amina pleads with Fahmy to moderate his activism, worried about the dangers he faces attending protests. As the nationalists gain momentum and hold a public celebration, tragedy strikes. Fahmy is shot and killed by British soldiers. Al-Sayyid Ahmad's desire to control his family was meant to protect them, but the forces of history and politics unfold beyond his influence. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.